let's be real for a second. We've all been there, right? You get one nice comment, one piece of praise, and you're just flying. But then, one little piece of criticism comes your way, and bam, the whole day feels ruined. Today, we're gonna get off that emotional roller coaster and find a way to stand on some solid ground. It's wild, isn't it? You could get 10 amazing compliments, but it's that one negative comment that just sticks. It's the one that loops in your head over and over. Why in the world does it have so much power over us? Well, that's the big question we're going to unpack in this explainer.
So this whole experience actually has a name. It's called the praise and shame trap. And look, this is an ancient human problem, for sure. But our modern world, with all its notifications and constant feedback, has basically put this thing on steroids. Let's dig into how.
You know, this idea isn't new at all. It just has a brand new delivery system. Ancient Taoist text described praise and shame as literal shocks to our system. And today, we can see that play out in our brain chemistry. A like on your post gives you that little hit of dopamine. A nasty comment brings a spike of anxiety. It's the exact same ancient shock, just delivered 24/7 through a screen.
And this is exactly why it all feels so intense, so high stakes. Our brains, they haven't really caught up with the modern world. The fear of losing your social standing, whether it's getting downvoted online or getting passed over for a promotion, it actually registers in the same part of the brain as physical pain. To our gut instinct, it feels like a real threat to our survival.
Okay, so we know it's this primal chemical reaction, but what's really at the heart of it? Why are we so incredibly vulnerable to these shocks in the first place? Well, the answer lies in something we all have: the ego. The best way to think about the ego is like a super sensitive PR manager that lives in your head. It's the part of you that builds your identity, your whole sense of self. And here's the kicker. It literally can't tell the difference between your physical body and your reputation. So when your reputation gets a tiny scratch, the ego screams bloody murder, as if you've actually been hurt. And that's exactly why trying to build your self-worth on praise is like building a house on sand. Public opinion changes in a heartbeat. I mean, we see it constantly, right? A celebrity is loved one day and canceled the next. You're employee of the month and then you're on the layoff list a few months later. Chasing that validation is just a direct path to anxiety and ultimately total burn.
Here's a metaphor that really makes it click. If praise and shame are like thorns, then our ego is our skin. The more sensitive and thin our skin is, the more we bleed from every little prick. So the solution isn't to try and dodge all the thorns in the world. That's impossible. The real solution is to change our relationship with our own skin.
So, how on earth do we do that? How do we make our skin a little less sensitive? Well, there's this ancient solution that offers a really profound shift in your thinking. It's all about moving the focus from me to we. Let's check out how this one simple change can build a way more resilient mind. I mean, just look at the difference here. On the left, with that ego-driven mindset, everything is personal. My promotion means I'm worthy. That criticism means I'm a failure. But look at the right side. It's a total shift. Praise isn't about your personal worth anymore. It's feedback that you're serving the mission well. Criticism isn't a personal attack. It's just information to help you serve better. You totally detach your personal value from the outcome. Now, I know this can all sound great in theory, but how do you actually use this in your day-to-day life? Well, here are 4 really concrete, actionable steps you can start taking, like today, to get out of that praise and shame trap. Okay, first, actively reframe any feedback you get. Instead of asking, "What does this say about me?" ask, "Does this help me serve my mission better?" Second, try a skin-thinning meditation. Just visualize criticism as wind that passes right through you. It can feel a little weird, but it works. Third, take a moment to write out a personal mission that's about your impact, not your job title. And fourth, the simple one, a digital detox. Just turning off your notifications can break that addictive little cycle of looking for validation. And listen, this isn't just some dusty, ancient philosophy. It's a totally modern leadership strategy. Just look at someone like Jacinda Ardern. She resigned as Prime Minister of New Zealand, saying she didn't have enough in the tank to serve the country properly. That's a decision based on service, not ego. Or think of Warren Buffett, A billionaire who lives pretty modestly and is just obsessed with creating long-term value, not chasing short-term applause.
And this isn't just feel-good stuff. There's real proof in the pudding. On a biological level, making the shift actually reduces the stress hormone cortisol and boosts oxytocin, which is the hormone for connection and trust. That's why it builds such deep trust in leaders. And for us personally, it's a powerful way to cut down on anxiety and depression just by unhooking our well-being from things we can't even control.
Which all leads us to the real goal here. The ultimate prize you get from making this shift. It's something way more valuable than any amount of praise you could ever get. It's true freedom.
This is such a powerful idea. It's basically saying that the people we can really trust, the most effective leaders, aren't the ones trying to protect their own reputation. They're the ones who act for the good of the whole, because they actually see themselves as part of the whole. That's a huge shift in how you see everything. So at the end of the day, when you stop letting praise send you to the moon and shame send you to the basement, you're not numb, you're free. You're free to make smart decisions, to lead with real authenticity, and to just live a more peaceful life no matter what kind of chaos the world is throwing at you. So I want to leave you with one final question to really sit with. Just imagine it for a second. If you were completely, truly free from needing anyone's approval or being terrified of their disapproval, what would you try? What project would you finally start? What great work would you dare to do?